I'm Simon English and I'm currently the Smart Energy Lead at Enzen Australia. One of the exciting parts about the energy industry is that whether it be at the home with solar and batteries, or whether it's commercial or industrial facilities, which obviously scales up, or you talk about large-scale renewables, wind and solar farms, the energy mix is changing as we push towards more renewables. That obviously greens and decarbonises the energy industry. The challenge is that the power networks weren't designed to deal with electricity flowing up through the networks. They're only designed to deal with stuff starting at a coal-fired power station and coming back down to us as the consumer. So the consumers historically have been quite passive in the transaction of energy. And so if you move to a world, the word is prosumer, if you move to a world where the consumer now can generate locally, use the energy themselves, but also potentially can sell or trade, and that doesn't necessarily mean to make money, that may mean as simple as I want to gift my excess energy to my children who live somewhere else, or to the RSPCA, or to some other charity. That changes completely the way our energy system works. So I think one of the biggest changes is that we're going to have a flood of data. So electricity will be actually less important in the context of, I'll say value. The value will be in the information. So associated with, in your home, for example, associated with that battery and solar panel isn't just that it's electricity, but it's your energy patterns in the home, the state of charge, the performance of that information. So that unlocks a whole raft of new jobs because you have to maintain those assets. So we've now got these digital, battery PV kind of world that we're going to need different types of technicians. Is it the super sparky, or is it some other form of technology person? Those devices talk on the internet, so it's about communications, it's about data modeling, and then of course you have, once that data is available, it's going to unlock a whole range of new technologies. You've probably heard the term blockchain, right? But it's just one of many different technologies that will be utilised about how we manage information. So in that sort of digitization kind of world, you're going to see a whole raft of new jobs created with people who are focusing on how you use the data, how you move the data around, how you aggregate, how you use artificial intelligence on the data to make better decisions. So really, it's about the data. Oh, I definitely think so, yes. You think about the way the world works today, the electricity industry at a basic distribution to the power industry network, and then at the home and business industrial, it's all pretty same. It's all very regulated, standardized through AS3000. It's all very prescriptive. You're moving to a world where every device, whether it be the home or industry, will have an embedded controller in it, will have electronics, will have some form of web-based interface data. So that electrician, if they're going to work on that device now, the problems they're going to be solving sure might be electrical, but they might also be electronic, but they're more likely to be communications related, or I can't talk to the web server, or these two systems aren't communicating because of some data issue. So a very different skill set. So yeah, I find it interesting how people go, oh, jobs will be automated away. Who looks after the automation? The automation will have to be maintained, and that's where that role that super electrician will be, in their element. As well as unlocking opportunities, I think one of the key things the energy industry will create is there'll be a whole bunch of new entrants. So there's always been that sort of Uber concept, people saying, oh, well, when an Uber comes into the power industry. But before we even get there, you'll see, I think you'll see some really creative solutions about energy. So the analogy I give to people is, if electricity flows within a local community, so it flows at the street level or at the local town community level, and really sort of the self-sufficient concept of a microgrid, that unlocks a whole new set of business models about how that electricity is used, and it becomes effectively a new, almost a new economic stimulator. And so there'll be lots of new industries built on the back of that energy being available in the local community and not having to source it from, you know, the market or from a big coal-fired power station. So if you think about things like 3D printing, you know, in a small community or in the home, being self-sufficient. If your energy costs can drop significantly because it's available locally in the community, then it unlocks a whole range of new economic prospects. So energy becomes the enabler, and I think that's really important. That seems to be lost a little bit, I think, in this energy conversation. Everyone's going gloom and doom. What are the networks going to do? What are the transmission companies and AEMO's going to spend all this money? What they're not doing is going, if I actually have power decentralised throughout my, you know, through the communities in Australia, what does that do to the economy? What value can that unlock? And I think we're going to see some incredible things in the next 10 years.